Hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin. I'm Mike Spinner, Student Athlete World USA, coming at you as I do every Monday, and I hope it's a happy Monday for everyone, especially if you had a 3 day weekend last weekend. And if you had a 3 day weekend and did not take time to thank a veteran, you don't need Veterans Day for that. Go and thank them right this minute. If you served our country at any point or are watching this video, thank you. And that's what Veterans Day is all about. And it is a happy Monday for many reasons. And the good news for those of you who have wondered why I'm always talking about a particular New York football team, the one in blue and red, the good news for you is you're not going to hear a whole lot moving forward about them because I don't want to hear too much about them anymore. And all I'll say is this: you can't root against your team. Like they played the Cowboys yesterday. Of course, I want the Giants to win or at least be competitive for more than like a minute. It's a bad day, but we move on. And as far as I'm concerned, when is the 2024 draft? I want to see who the Giants are picking up first. But it still is an awesome Monday. And here's a big reason why. This is easily our busiest time of year in terms of interviewing candidates for our tours across all of our sports. My voice is a little bit raspy because there's just been a lot. And the quality of the interviews and the families is just so awesome that it really is a happy Monday. I just finished an interview with a basketball family from Louisiana, and I honestly, I exited out of the interview and I'm like, this is why I love my job. People like this. I won't name names. Once they're official, we'll name names. But for now, I just have to say that this is my second year doing these interviews, and the quality last year was great, but they're just so much fun this year. I don't know what tour I'm doing yet. Hopefully, I'll know soon. But I can tell you that we have a lot of people coming on tour with us, and that number is growing really quickly. Who I can't wait to hang out with. So that's all I'm going to say. But see the smiles because we have great candidates interviewing for our tours. If you are one of those great candidates, you haven't set up your interview yet, make sure you do it soon. I'll go through at the end as I always do how to do it. I also got to see the amazing Caroline Pape this weekend, head women's lacrosse coach at Moravian University. She was recruiting at an event where I was coaching in New Jersey. And if you're a women's lacrosse candidate, and besides our tours being awesome, besides the experience being once in a lifetime, first class in every way, if you go on the tour that Caroline is coaching, you're gonna have the experience of your life. She's just a fabulous coach and a better person. It was great to see her again this weekend. And on a little bit of business. So, with all these interviews, what I'm finding is I'm getting the same questions. So, what I try to do every Monday, if I don't have like a special feature, there's more coming up with those, um, I I try to just answer those questions on these videos. So that way, if you're planning an interview with me, maybe I'll answer your question before the interview, which I'm happy to answer during the interview, but it's always good to come into an interview comfortable. So I've been getting a lot of questions about passport deadlines. So let me just make a few things clear about passports. Number one, to tour with us, you do need an up-to-date passport. If you're thinking about touring with us, if you have an interview scheduled, even if you've already interviewed with us, check to make sure if you have a passport that's up to date, and if it is not, apply for a new one. If you don't have a passport, there is time. Right now, the State Department's saying it's 7 to 10 weeks. Some cases that's longer or shorter. I always advise people do the expedited passport process so you get it sooner. But here's the deal: we don't need passports till the spring, most likely April or May. So you do not need to like drop everything tonight and run to Staples wherever you get your passports done local to you. It doesn't have to happen right this minute, but just because it's the holiday season coming, the mail slows down. We're talking about government agency, things like that. You just don't know how long a passport's going to take. So my advice is just don't wait on it. So if you don't have a passport yet, you have time, but don't put this off to like March. Do it sooner than later. That way it's just done because the process is out of your hands. So while we don't have a looming deadline for passports, you don't want to be that person who you do get a looming deadline. So get your passport done. Once you are, and I walk you through the process during the interview, once your process is done and you're locked in, you upload your passport information to our website. And that's how that process goes. It's really smooth and easy, but you need your passport to do it. So just make sure you take care of that sooner than later, so it's a comfortable process for you. Now, no Giants football. We're done with them. But some football things to talk about. I have two things that I noticed this week that are so indicative of how broken college football can be. Number one, Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M, fired this week. And, to me, like you're in the SEC, you're winning 7, 8, 9 games a year. You're doing something right. That's just my own opinion. But here's the thing. Jimbo Fisher signed a contract and a subsequent contract extension for which he will now be paid $76 million to not coach football anymore. He could go do whatever he wants and collect his paychecks, and he will be $76 million richer. Now, it was not a $76 million contract. I believe the contract was for more than $100 million. He has 76 million left, and he gets every dime of it, even though he failed to perform his job as far as the powers that be at Texas A&M are concerned. How ridiculous is that? What I would give to fail completely, whether purposeful or not, and still become so filthy rich that I wouldn't know how to spend all my money if I wanted to. And here's the biggest kicker. If he goes and gets another coaching job tomorrow that pays, let's say, 6, 7 million a year, he still gets the full 76 million from Texas A&M. There was no clause in the contract that says if you get another job, our payments will stop, or you'll get the new job's payments deducted from our payments. He gets the full boat, and he can double dip. And this man can he can become like a gazillionaire. I mean, maybe not a gazillionaire, but what is going on? On what planet do you fail but still become rich? Why didn't I pursue that industry? Not that I've ever really failed anything, but that's something that it bothers me, because here's the deal. The Texas A&M people will tell you, well, it's a state school. The money's not coming from the state, private donations, 76 million, and whatever they're paying the next coaching staff, probably another 80 to $100 million on top of that. That's coming from private funding, probably a bunch of oil barons who don't love the school, donate to the school. One of them probably, instead of buying a new yacht, he's going to give 76 million to Texas A&M. I get it. But here's my question. Are things at Texas A&M as a school so amazing that 76 million couldn't have put to something else? New dorm, update the library, cafeteria, whatever it is. I've never been there. I think it's College Station. I've never been there. I don't actually know much about the school. I know Johnny Manziel played there. I love the SEC, so I've seen their football team play many, many times. But it's just, is Texas A&M such a haven of a college university that 76 million isn't needed anywhere else? So they're just going to pay a guy to not work there anymore. $76 million. I can't fathom that. So it bothers me. Something very wrong with college sports. The second, Jim Harbaugh. Now, I'm gonna get controversial about Jim Harbaugh. So he's suspended from coaching in games for the rest of the season. They had the whole Connor Stallions thing. Yeah, hard to know what to think about that. He bought tickets and traveled to games to steal signals from other schools. And Jim Harbaugh, of course, is claiming he knew nothing about it. Meanwhile, there's pictures of Connor Stallions on the sidelines of Michigan. He was a paid staff member. There's a lot of proof that this Connor Stallions guy did something really wrong. There's may not proof that Jim Harbaugh was a part of it. And he's had, Jim Harbaugh, his own recruiting controversies. He's had some issues there at Michigan. Here's my thing. There's one captain in the ship. That's the head coach. Now, should he have known that Connor Stallions was doing this? No, but he should find out. So maybe it wasn't him who knew about Connor Stallions. We'll probably never know. Someone knew what this guy was doing. If he was helping, if he was flying all around the country to watch other team signals, someone knew. Probably a defensive coordinator, defensive personnel. Somebody knew what he was doing. So if you're Jim Harbaugh, maybe you shouldn't be punished for this, but the person who knew, who helped orchestrate this, that person should be punished. And that's my point here. So Jim Harbaugh, maybe not, is fair what they're doing, but if he's not going in, grinding this out and finding out who did it or who approved it, then he's culpable. And ultimately, college football is a crazy world. Like you win 9 games, you win 10 games in college football in the season, unless you're like Alabama and you are having a great season. Coach, your job security is probably pretty good. One less game, 9 wins, you might get fired. Right. And so in my mind, if this Connor Stallions controversy caused Michigan to win any game that they probably shouldn't have if they didn't have this advantage, then yeah, head should roll. It's a big problem because chances are them cheating, regardless of who is responsible, led to another coach losing his job. And I have a big problem with that. So again, this is where college sports, college football is. To me, it's about the game. Okay, it's about I think NCAA high level Division I football is better than NFL football. I'd rather watch Saturday than Sunday. Just my opinion. I love the SEC, as I've said. And for someone like Jim Harbaugh, nothing but respect for what he's done there. He doesn't have it as hard as the SEC. That's a fact. He gets to, yeah, he's got Ohio State every year and Michigan State when they're good, but he also has teams like Wisconsin. I mean, how hard can it be, right? But he still went and cheated anyway. All right. So I respect the fact that he's a winning football coach at Michigan, but you can't cover this one up. This is a big deal controversy. It happened under his watch. And if he's not willing to find out who did it, it's as bad as him doing it himself. And that's just how I feel about that. That's all I got for this happy Monday, everyone. And as always, if you're watching this and you love what we do, want to travel with us, want the coolest experience of your life, there's only one way. They say it every week. Go to studentathleteworld.com, complete your application, interview with me, hack your bags. I want even more interviews. So go finish your applications now, schedule those interviews. Can't wait to meet you. See everyone next Monday. Have a great week. Take care.